I can't believe it's the 8th week already. This has been a crazy long journey. Hello, Fit Fam. Welcome to yet another video of me going through my ketogenic bodybuilding prep. So far, so good. We have done 8 weeks and I'm loving the results. I'm loving the outcome, but I'm not loving the energy. I am beginning to feel the energy depletion of prep, and it's not funny. I had myself questioning myself this past week, like, why do I have to do this? Why do I need to do this? I could just maintain from now. I could just quit. But when you have something higher, when you have a vision, when you have a goal that you must fulfill for yourself, for your destiny, you have no choice but to keep grinding. You have no choice but to keep moving in that direction and overcome every obstacle that may come your way. Enough motivation, guys. Let's go through my 1 week results. So from week 7 to week 8, my starting weight for the week was 72.75 kilograms, and my checking in weight is 71.4 kilograms, bringing me to a total loss of 1.35 kilograms. Guys, that is insane. This weight loss is similar to the weight loss I had on my first week of prep, because then after then I began to have like a downward trend of the amount I lost. I think I was losing a maximum of 1.1 kilograms, between 0.8 to 1.1. Some week I was stalled because of my period, but this went back to that number, and I'll tell you why this happened like this. My average steps was 12,115 steps. Average fluids 4,087. So we had that fluid ramped up this week, like I mentioned in my last week's video. My average calorie was 1,459 calories, about less than 50 calories drop from last week. And yeah, my weight training, as always, I did 5 times. And this week's cardio has been insane. I did low intensity steady state cardio 6 times for the week. And with that 6 times, I did zone 3 to 5 cardio 3 times of the week. And then my diet distribution, I had 83% compliance, 83.7% compliance with ketogenic diet, and 14.29% compliance. Oh, it's not a compliance of a low carbohydrate diet. And I'll tell you why also. However, my total weekly macros still falls within the ketogenic prescription, which brought me to 6.6% of carbs, 28.7% of protein, and 64.7% of fat. Now, this is phase 1 of my luteal phase, like week 1, because I think luteal phase supposedly lasts for 2 weeks. So this is the first week. So this is part 1. Remember my last luteal phase, I had a higher caloric intake and I still saw weight loss. So I said to myself, this luteal phase of this time, I want to see what the results will be if I decide to go low calorie. And lo and behold, my body was still ramping up, its metabolism, and I was seeing results. So this week I decided to do something unique. I decided to do the ketogenic egg diet, but I'm tagging it the egg and bacon diet because that is what I did. Normally on a ketogenic egg diet, you'd have egg, butter, and cheese if you want, but I sort of like modified it so that it makes sense to me as a meal and I can carry on continuously with it. So I had the same food every day for 6 days. And on the seventh day, I had a refeed. Um, a typical calorie for a day had me eating 1,300 and between 1,324 or to 1,328 calories, of which 14 grams was carbs, 94.3 grams was protein, and 101.1 grams was fat. So keeping that 1-to-1 protein ratio you find on a standard ketogenic diet. And yeah, I did that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The reason my version of ketogenic egg diet was different is because I included um, different things such as coffee. I included bacon. I do not like cheese, so I did not put cheese. So I used bacon instead. So gave me more protein as well as fat. And I included pickles and olives. Like pickled small cucumbers, gherkins, and olives. So that is what made it different. And I had the same meal every day for 6 days. Also, I was working consistently Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 days straight, I was on a night shift. So I was having this meal and going to work and staying awake. And I think that influenced the results because on a normal, if I have a normal cycle, like a normal life, I would actually see more results, because I would have had much better sleep and I would have rested properly. But because I was doing night shifts, I was only getting like 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours, 5 hours. There was a day my sleep was so interrupted by deliveries, knock on the door, noise outside, a lot of things. It was hectic. But the thing that made me, I believe, to cope with this back-to-back night shifts was the fact that I was in deep ketosis. I started the week with a keto level of zero point 0.4. On Monday, that was on Sunday. On Monday, it was still 0.4, but on Tuesday, it went up to 0.8. And then on Wednesday, I started registering a higher ketone level of 1.1 millimole, Thursday 1.6, Friday 1.5, and Saturday 1.1 millimole. So that is what I did. It felt so good being in ketosis. Your brain is so sharp. You can think, you can be so functional. I feel if you're an office worker, you should actually get yourself in ketosis so that you can easily focus and do your job and get to your clients and do everything you need to do. If you're not like somebody who needs a lot of energy to be to expend, like a manual laborer. If your job is sedentary, mine wasn't. But because I'm fat adapted, I know how to use fat for energy. So I'm already like, my body was used to that anyway. But if you're somebody who has a sedentary lifestyle, I think you should look into being in ketosis. There are other things that can help you to get into ketosis without like, waiting to be keto adapted. You get what I mean? Like MCT oil and all those things. You can try them out. It keeps your brain sharp and, keep you functioning at a high level. Yeah, so that is what I did. And then on Friday night, I don't eat at work. I have my dinner before going to work. So on the Friday night, it was the fifth night. I was so tired. I was so finished. Like I couldn't go one more. So during the night shift, someone brought in KFC, and they left me a chicken drumstick with a few fries. I kind of pushed it and pushed it. I had some butter. I had some small butter bites, but they weren't doing the work. Although I do regret having those chips because Not because it kicked me out of ketosis, but it's it affected my system. It affected my energy. Because by the time I went for break and came back, I was so grudgy. I was dragging myself. It wasn't like every other night shift. So it's like my body had to put in so much more energy to break down the poison I just ingested. So that is a lesson learned. I will just try and drink water and drink water. Or one thing I didn't do, which I will remember to do next time, is to go with my snake juice. My snake juice, which recipe I got from Cole Robinson's The Snake Diet Wizard, which contained basically potassium, sodium, and magnesium in a very good proportion. Once I drink that, my body sort of like balances out. But I didn't bring it on that night shift. I just poured plain water, and that wasn't sufficient as per electrolyte, because I think in this ketogenic diet you sort of lose electrolytes, so you need that replenishment. So that is one lesson I took out of this week. But hello guys, forgive me if I happen to repeat anything in this video. I had said everything, finished my video, then I realized my video had actually cut off somewhere, which I do not recognize, so forgive me. So I think I had reviewed, the reason why I had to go up in my carb intake, because of how I was feeling. I wasn't feeling so great, so I was looking for something, and then I regretted my choices at the end of the day. Blah blah blah. So when I woke up on that Saturday morning, I wasn't feeling it at all. I didn't even sleep properly. I didn't even sleep well. The sleep didn't even last long. So I got up. I felt so weak and I couldn't do any sort of activity. But to be honest, looking back, I had done so much activity for the week, weight training, basically 6 times of the week, because one of those days I went for rocking and I had 10 kg on my back. And for 43 minutes, I was walking with the weight on my back. So I'd consider that a weight training. And I did cardio 6 times, low intensity 6 times a week, plus zone 3 to 5 cardio 3 times of the week. So I think I did so well for the week, to be honest. I'm going to give myself the flower for achieving such things for myself. So I have learned my lessons for the week, and I'm going to be doing another experiment for the next coming week, which I'm going to intimate you about. However, if you want to see the detail of my, like a short video about my ketogenic egg diet, you can see it in one of my videos, which I have already done, to show you what I had on my ketogenic egg diet experiment. That said, I don't think there's anything much for me. I have lost my train of thoughts, unfortunately. But basically, next week, I'm looking forward to having an awesome result. The result I had this week was so encouraging. My body is so ramped up because I'm recording this on another day. And following the ketogenic egg diet and my Saturday replenishment, higher calorie, on the Monday I had already dropped more weight, so more fat. So I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm really looking forward to this. I was planning to do a show after the 10th week, but looking at how my body is, and I'm not seeing myself there at that point in time. So I'm going to be holding back a little bit and pushing the prep a bit much further. And that means more suffering, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it, guys. I was asking myself, like, why do I have to do this? Because it was getting so tough. I was like, why do I have to do this? But, when you have a vision, when you have a goal, when you have a place that you're going, you have to get there. By any means necessary, you have to get there. And yeah, since I have the life and the wherewithal to do this, I'm going to do this. I promise you, I'm going to do it. So yeah, so more prep time in for me, ramping that fluid intake up, and keeping those calories or energy inputs in check, so that my body will be able to tap into its own stored energy and give me that result that I'm looking for. All that said, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you my before and after, as always, and keep it locked down here on my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.